Good morning, my friends. The year 2020 is approaching. We've got 30th of December right now, 2019. And so we're going to continue with our top 2020 bikes. Today, Hardtails, aluminum hardtails, hardtails which you can use for sportive rides, but also cross-country racing, maybe even more specifically on racing, cross-country racing and marathons. And so today our price point is $1,500 more or less, and I've chosen top 5 for you, but I just want to show you which brands, which models I was going through. And so Bianchi Nitron, this would be the setup I was looking for. Decent fork like Judy, RockShox Judy, gold or silver. Recon might be there as well. We'll have one Reba. But 9.4 on NX Eagle is just too expensive, so Bianchi is way over that price point. Then Bianchi Alma H20, pretty good one, 1x12 drivetrain. We've got Judy at the front, decent frame with the ports for mounting either front derailleur or internal cables for the dropper post, but no weight. So we don't know how much the bike will weigh. As you will see, there will be a huge difference in the weight here. So it really makes difference what kind of bike you will choose for that $1,500. Then just for the comparison, I want to tell you, by paying less than $2,000, you can already get some carbon hardtails. But don't be mistaken, these carbon frames, although they usually will be lighter than the lightest alloy on this price, those bikes don't even have to be lighter. Like this bike is 12.4, which is okay. It is more expensive than our hardtails, just couple hundreds of dollars. But we have the carbon frame. If you would like to upgrade the bike, it would be okay. SX Eagle, so the cheapest and more budget group set, but yes, you might have a carbon bike at very close price point, which wouldn't be my choice actually. You will see why. The next one was Cannondale Trail 2, about $1,500. Decent components like SX and X will be standard there, but this bike is very heavy, 14.5 kilograms. That's a lot. I mean, the bike has the dropper post, so don't forget about that. And the fork is 120 millimeters of travel, which also hires the weight of the bike, but it's still 14.5 for $1,500. This is more like a trail bike. It's called trail. They just don't have any alloy XC FSI anymore. So I just wanted to show you there is such a bike, and it's not one of the top cross-country alloy bikes. I was also looking at Jamie's bikes. That's very often when I say about price and quality and components, I would mention Jamie's or Vitus bikes. Nope, nothing for cross-country at this price point actually. Nothing for cross-country from Vitus. This is about $1,500, and this is also more like a trail bike. Then Cube Reaction Race. We are getting close. I would say this is one of the bikes you might choose, in my opinion. What we've got here? Judy Silver, 100 millimeters of travel. That's very cross-country-ish. Then GX Eagle. That's rear derailleur. Then we have the brakes from Shimano Diori. So we have mix of SRAM and Shimano, and these brakes are powerful, good, reliable, tough, rough, durable. If I haven't mentioned, so really good brakes. Crankset is okay, SRAM stylo, and 12.7 kilograms for about $1,500. This is okay. If you like the brand, you have also the port for the dropper post. It's okay bike. So this was the Cube Reaction Race. That's the one here. And then I haven't chosen the Grand Canyon AL from Canyon because of also the weight, 12.7 kilograms. There is everything on board that you would need to have on the modern bike. So you've got the geometry, you've got the cable port, 12 speed at the rear. Good bike. But I will show you the top 5. You will see the small difference, or maybe even a big difference with some bikes. And then we've got the Trek Excalibur, 1579.99. This is the highest aluminum model. RockShox Judy Silver, 1x12 Shimano drivetrain. Fine. But the frame must be pretty heavy since the bike weighs 13.3, so this is the second heaviest bike in this comparison. 13.3, it's too much for that much money and for Trek. That's why it didn't get to the top 5. And then Giant, it's really difficult, or I would even say it's impossible to find a typical cross-country aluminum bike. They have Giant Talon. I was thinking maybe I would find some nice components on Giant Talon. Nope. For $1,500 you get the Fathom, and it's really good bike. But this is more a trail than a cross-country bike. And do we have the weight here? No, we don't have the weight right here. So SX Eagle, it's okay. You've got the through axles. You've got the Recon at front. Okay, but not what we are looking for, and no remote lockout, which you must have on your cross-country bike. Are you ready for the top 5? So number 1, that's German Raden Jealous AL 8.0. That's 1,200 euros, about $1,500, and this bike looks like it could be lighter, much lighter, like way lighter than 13 kilograms, but we don't have the weight given here. But when you look at the specs, there is Judy Gold RL, there is the SX Eagle, so the lowest group sets from the SRAM, Magura MT2 brakes. These are just decent, good brakes. The frame, 1,680 grams. There are lighter frames. That's why this is on 5. But we've got the dropper post right here. We've got no binnick front and rear. That's interesting. Why not something like our new Racing Ralph and Racing Ray? But the specs just looks fine. I have nothing. Oh, there is a weight. I'm sorry, guys. 12.1. I was looking at it before. So, looking at all these specs here, the bike should be here. Should get to the top 5. And then the Scott. The only problem I have with the Scott is that it doesn't have the through axle, but the price is $1,000. So it definitely should be here. SRAM SX. We've got the RockShox 30 Silver, Judy 30. These are close to each other, but you've got the remote. Do we have the remote on the Jealous? Yes. Remote lockout on the handlebars. Nicely made frame. You've got the port here for the dropper post if you wish. Everything except for the through axle is there. But is way cheaper than all the other that we compare. $1,000, so it should be here top 5 under $1,500. And then you might not know this one. What about the United States? Do you have the dealer from Author? This is the Czech brand. Because this is the newest model. They've changed the frame for 2020. Author Context 29, and for way less than $1,500. It should be like, I don't know, $1,200 or $1,300. You've got really nice specs and pretty light bike. So RSD first, air fork. I was testing this one. There is a test on my main SickBiker channel. Remote lockout. Okay looking frame. There are the ports. 1x12 drivetrain, and the weight is 11.9 for 19-inch size of the frame. So SLX here, the first just works. It does work. And then we've got the 15x100 and 12x148 standards for the axles. Really good bike for this price. Should be in our top 5. And then Rose Can Solo, the German bike, German brand, 1,300 euros, about $1,500. The only thing I would upgrade is the Mavic Crossride wheels, because if you upgrade these wheels with some custom, let's say $400 wheels, the bike will get much lighter, and the weight is already absolutely great. This is 11.7, so if it's way less than 12 kilograms, this will be a good aluminum XC racing bike, which you can upgrade. As for the components, we've got the RockShox Reba RL, so this is the only bike in this comparison which gets the Reba. And then we've got the GX Eagle. And so I think the Reba and the GX Eagle make this bike the lightest in this comparison for $1,500. There are 3 colors. There you go. Color number 2 and color number 3. I think I would go for the black one. Some cables, I mean, is it only the cable for the rear derailleur are routed externally? No, I think 2 cables go right here, but there is it's not a port. You cannot clamp the housing here, which would be very, very handy, but there is a port, so you'll be able to mount either front derailleur or internal cables for the seat post, the dropper seat post. Otherwise, the frame isn't like high end as for the aluminum frame, but with the setup, this is a really good racing aluminum bike. And finally, the Merida wins it with this frame, $1,500. This is the Merida Big 9 Limited AL. The weight is 12.16, so this is the third lightest bike, and the spec is quite nice. So we've got the SX Eagle, but the strong point of this bike, except for its frame, in my opinion, the best made aluminum frame of this bike in this comparison, but the strong point is also the fork, Manitou Marker Comp. As for its characteristics, I would say Reba works a little bit better, but this one, because this one feels, I would say, too linear. I have to set this one for 0% sag in order to have it as hard as I want to have it for cross-country racing. But you've got the remote lockout. This is also light, pretty light fork, and very stiff. So this arc here, which is put behind the stanchions, really makes the difference. And the frame looks beautiful. It is stiff. You've got the ports on both sides with clamps, so you will be able to clamp to put the tension on the housing and clamp it with no rattling. This is really well made. And so internal cable for the seat post, or no, you cannot mount. I think you actually, yes, you should be able to mount the front derailleur too, because I was testing the 2x10 setup. Now this is the international side of Merida, but check out in your country, because for example in Poland we get much cheaper version, Big 9 500 Light. So this is 12.3 kilograms. and it will be pretty cheap. This is about, I would say, $1,200, and it's the lowest model with this frame, the light frame. So it's not this frame right here. I'm gonna show you the difference. You will see the difference especially in no part here, and this is the frame I'm talking about. This might be the best alloy frame right now. So I really miss the FSI aluminum frame from Cannondale, but this might be the best right now. So guys, the Big 9 Limited AL, the Rose Count Solo, good bike, really good bike for the setup. Althor, Context 29, and then we've got interesting Scott Scale 970 and Raden Jealous AL 8.0. This is it for this comparison. Which one would you like to see next? Let me know and see you soon. Bye bye.